Let's go, Leafs.
And we're back. Welcome back.
We're live, pal.
Hopefully everyone's bladders are a little bit lighter.
A bit lighter.
And we're ready to delve on in to episode 2, part 2. Let's kick that off with the wrong video. Because that's what I want to see. We just watched that. All right. Get out of here. Okay. So
the game. Yeah.
That basically ends. It brings us back, and then we are pretty much just immediately thrown into this cutscene without really like any word or warning or anything. And let's watch.
See what that. I can't believe it, man. Now that's heavy.
Me neither.
When did Becky stop coming to work?
I don't remember being
I think it was like from the day Anna was killed, man.
Never mind.
Yeah, that's right. She was totally depressed about something.
Quint called for her to let us know she wasn't coming in for work. She must have been totally in shock, the poor thing.
So you took the twins along to cheer her up.
That's right, hon. If only I knew it would be like this, I'd have spent more time talking to her.
You told me about a special secret between your children and Becky.
Yes, of course. What about it?
It seems Becky handed them an item before she was killed. Any idea what that might be?
Now that you mention it, they had a box about this size which they said was very important.
That's it. I'd like to talk to them about this in person. Where are the boys now?
They went out actually with Mr. Kaysen.
They said they were going to visit Greenvale Forest Park today. They were going to take Willie for a walk, that dog of his.
Kaysen? Do you know him well?
Oh yeah, he's a good guy. He always brings us gifts from his road trips. The kids love him, so we let him take them out every once in a while. You know, for a little quality time with the missus.
Okay, I understand. But the situation calls for urgency.
That's the way
I'll
Jeff
go and
talks
look for
too.
them myself.
I don't know if
And
y'all
they come
caught that
home
on
without running
camera.
into me, could you let us know?
Sure, of course. I'll contact the department.
So,
where is it?
This part was
Where?
interesting because when I was joining Jeff playing, this cutscene did not happen for Jeff. It is the part of the same cutscene.
No, this one, yeah, I don't remember this part.
Yeah, it just ended right there. So for some reason, I saw this
Where
and
could
Jeff
it be?
didn't.
Her dress. Oh, Sally.
Did I? And I don't think I think I was in the camp of not skipping cutscenes
mother?
at this point.
Yeah, you didn't skip it. It just
Acting
didn't
up
happen for
again.
him.
She's been like that ever since she heard the news.
What exactly is she doing?
Got no idea. But I guess she's in shock or something. Way I look at it, her daughter's death hasn't really sunk in the right way.
Because there's a right way for that to sink
I
in.
feel sorry for her.
Come on, let's go. Lily, have you seen Anna's dress, dear? I can't find it anywhere.
And we don't know why. Like I didn't get this. Was it like not playing the game correctly?
Right way.
I have no clue why you
Feel it too.
The only thing I can think of is that maybe the game knows you hate it, so it's trying to do you a solid and skip you content.
Okay.
Scott,
can
Dallas,
appreciate
Skylar,
that.
did you guys get that part of the cutscene?
I don't remember. Yeah, we did.
Okay,
I just
you
think
did.
it's funny because he's supposed to be like a rocker, but he's got it's so SoCal, his accent. It's super SoCal.
I love that you know that, but I don't think I would have ever known that.
He's a SoCal rocker.
So, Scott, you don't remember that cutscene? I assume you remember the first part, right? Or did you skip it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember the first part.
Cool. Yeah, so I wonder why half of us didn't get that cutscene. That's super weird. There's something more going on with this game. That's all I'm saying. It knows.
You're giving the game too much credit.
We're gonna get to a point here and where I'm gonna show a cutscene near the end that has. I just love the way that this game sort of like treats trauma, as in, it just doesn't. In terms of like her daughter's death hasn't sunk in the right way. I'm sorry. What is the correct way for that to happen? I don't know. We'll get another example here in a few. But I do love the way that it just says the most, people in Greenville say the darnest things. All right, so let's carry on, and after that, we go and find these beautiful little children. Which, depending on this one,
According to Lily, Isaac and Isaiah should be here.
Then let's go and find them.
Found him. I really know what to say. I thought I stopped talking during the cutscene so I could record them, but I guess I
You were teaching Willie to do tricks. What's your secret?
It's easy.
Are you recording this through OBS whenever you stream it?
We give him a
I
Or
took
you
it
just
from Twitch.
cookie if he
Oh,
does
you
it
took it
right.
from Twitch.
I
Okay.
see.
I don't know if you can stream and save it at the same time, but you can.
Tell me.
You can separate it as audio tracks. You can separate like your voice from the game, or you can separate your voice from everything else.
No,
And
we
so,
can't.
any of
It
the
won't
other
be
stuff
secret
coming
if
in,
we
you can
tell.
have it as separate audio tracks. And
I'm not
I don't know.
telling. We
Yeah, I
promised
need to get on
Some
that
point.
shot.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah, I've never tried to stream and I've never tried to stream and
Also-
save at the same time, so I don't know like if it totally demolishes your system while if you're trying to do both.
Keep my promise if I don't know what the secret
Right
is.
now.
You see?
Got these creepy kids.
She told us to give Diane a box. It wasn't that heavy.
We took it to the art gallery and gave it to Diane.
Is that all Becky gave you?
Just when we were leaving to take the box to Diane, Becky called us back. She handed us something. It was small and round. She told us to keep it safe in our pocket and give it to Diane.
And then you met Carol on your way?
Yep, I took the round thing out of my pocket and we looked at it.
And then she talked to us.
We told her that we were on an errand for Becky. She said she'd do it for us.
But we told her no, because Becky asked us, not her. We promised Becky to do it ourselves.
So Becky did entrust the locket to them. And now Carol has it. Right, Kaysen?
Huh?
You were in the room when
Kaysen.
Carol took the locket back
Right,
to
Kaysen?
Diane. I saw you with Diane.
What's up with the
in
What's up with the
art
windsock in the background? Are like planes flying in?
Yeah, I was there in the room, but I was only chatting with Diane. Oh, then Carol burst in, all angry looking. While Carol and Diane had their talk, I just sat there like a frog. Yeah, so Carol took the locket from Diane. But
Wait, what
that
is
has
Kaysen
nothing
doing
to
here?
do with me, right?
He was taking the kids for a walk.
Yes.
Just hanging around.
Oh,
hanging
that's
around
right.
some
He was in the
children.
beginning of the game, right?
You are
Yeah.
now a key witness in this case. I'm afraid
Out
you
there with
can't leave
Anna.
town until you hear from me.
Suspicious.
What?
What? No, he wasn't
Can
there.
you do
He only
that?
got there
This
start
is
of
all
episode
starting
2.
to sound a little like Alice in
Oh, this is
Wonderland.
later on. He's taking him out for a walk.
Which
Yeah.
makes
What's
you
his relationship with the
Humpty Dumpty.
kids?
Huh?
So
Oh,
that was part of the
Isaac and
cutscene that we
Isaiah.
did just watch. Just FYI.
I think
But
I'll be able to keep my promise with you.
basically, Kaysen knows
was
their
Becky?
parents, and
she
so
got
it.
because
Okay.
he every time he comes
She'll
into
come
town,
and
he
help
brings
out
them
at our
gifts.
store again, won't she?
Got it.
She'll come and play with us again, won't she?
Boys,
Nah, she's dead.
about Becky.
That's right. Becky is almost totally better now. But I don't think she'll be able to come and see you. I was told by Becky to keep this a secret. But she's actually a goddess of the forest, just like Anna. I think she's gonna be in the forest with Anna for a while.
Cool. We'll keep this a secret then too.
Wow, that's why Anna and Becky are such good friends.
Okay, Willie.
You're happy too, aren't you?
Zach, I hope Emily doesn't end up as a forest goddess too.
no.
So
You had mentioned
Thorn-
earlier, Trevor, about like trauma and stuff, and during this scene, I was thinking like these kids saw a very gruesome scene,
Yeah.
and the way they're treating it. Well, I mean, the kids aren't processing, but they're children. But the way they're treating it is just so bizarre to me.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. And that's one of the things I think I made a comment on and I made this comment a couple times when I was playing with Jeff and when I was playing on my stream, is that like these kids are gonna like grow up and they're gonna go to therapy and they're just like, I thought everybody just became forest princesses when they died. What is this death thing? I don't understand. But this game is very interesting on its takes because it's there's definitely a sense of like a lot of bad things happen and people react relatively appropriately in terms of like, you know, Anna's mom freaking out, you know, like these kids kind of going a little crazy, you know, like people being very upset. But then like everyone in the town is just like, yeah, but like why are they not like over it? She died like 2 days ago. Like, come on. It's really interesting. It's really funny, honestly. Interesting isn't the right word. It's just comedic.
I mean, I guess that goes with the trauma piece that you were talking about. Like, just get over it. Rub some dirt in this trauma.
Yep. All right. So I have a couple of clips in this. Oh, actually, I have like one gameplay clip that we'll show too. That I'll show in a minute, just as something that y'all can do if you want to. But I'm going to show one more cutscene to get us kind of in the midst of the story a little bit more, because after we talk to those children, we basically decide that it's time to do this.
So, you want to find out everything there is to know about Diane?
That's right. There's just too many things that we don't know. First, we need more intel about the relationship between Nick and Diane.
How?
Nick and Diane meet every night at the bar. Let's use that. George, we'll need you to stake out the gallery.
What do you mean?
Wait in the parking lot of the art gallery and tail Diane when she leaves. If she goes anywhere other than the bar, you let me know. Emily, you take the diner. Wait for Nick and tail him to the bar too. As with George, if he goes anywhere else, then you let me know.
Okay.
Thomas, you keep a watch on them inside the bar.
Yes, I will.
I'll be waiting in the parking lot of the bar. Once Nick and Diane are together, I will follow them wherever they go. What time do they usually show up, Thomas?
Around the same time. Usually between 22 and 2300.
Then at that time we do it, boys and girls.
How long does that bow go for? Oh, I'm gonna pause this because it actually gets to a part that I didn't want to go to. But basically, you start to go and you're gonna start trailing Nick and Diane. But during that, you had a little bit of time. And I thought it would be fun to try one of the races around town. Well, I'll let you guys experience what that is. So in case you're ever curious as to what these races are about.
Oh, we've done one.
Oh, you've done one?
Oh, yeah. And
Like the Green Day music?
yeah, it plays Green Day.
It's just so great.
It's playing American Idiot.
Yeah.
It's like a mixture between that and America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh, it's so good. It's just like, where does it come from?
Yeah, let's pull up the lyrics.
Oh gosh, it's so difficult, especially
Well, and
because like. Oh, go ahead, John.
I was driving like a terrible boat thing at this point. Like I was driving one that just did not turn at all. Like it wasn't the van, it was still a car. But man, it was impossible to try to turn.
I'm gonna turn that audio
like,
down.
oh, see, I mean, you got like a, oh yeah, there we go. Some freaking overcorrecting. I love it. I couldn't get anything like that to happen for me on that second car I was in.
Yeah, I turned the audio down. I realized that in order to drive faster, you have to have your sirens on. So I'm sure that that is just like the most annoying thing ever. But yeah, whenever you play this, or go ahead.
Did you complete it?
We'll find out.
Oh.
So whenever you do this, it's like normally if you do like a racing thing, most video games will like show you where the next one is. So if you have to turn, you can just kind of like keep that in mind. This game does not do that. So you can be going straight and then you just have to make a left turn. And that's where I think you get a lot of my like fishtailing. in this game. So it's like I start to try and slow down, but even if that one's like, what am I supposed to do?
That one, well, that's behind you.
Yeah, it's just immediately behind me in that parking lot. Oh gosh.
At least you have infinite gas and infinite like damage to your car.
Yeah, during this. Could you imagine if you just run out of gas in the middle? I'm surprised they didn't keep that for the realism. But yeah, with this map being what it is, like you just kind of have to hope that the street's gonna take you to where it is.
Like you can just turn left or turn right.
Yeah. See, I had a feeling.
You tried to guess it.
Yep.
That sucks. Did you play any of these more than once, so like you could tell if it was like not a pattern, but if it was like the same every time?
No, I did. I just played this one time, and I was like, that was enough.
Like I'm good.
I'm pretty sure in order to get York's car, you have to do something similar to this, and that's one of the cutscenes. Is you basically have to do a race and you get his car back because that's how.
Gotcha.
That's how things work.
It's like Fast and the Furious, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta live your life a quarter mile at a time.
So these things are long.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware. All right, let's see. So the goal is that at 500 yards. That's the end.
Man, oh
my God!
Golly! Oh man! Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it's over. And that was it. That was
how
going
your
back
car
home.
going so fast?
You gotta hold the sirens.
It doesn't listen.
Yeah, you go like 10 miles an hour faster if you hold the siren.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering why we kept going like 45 or 50.
Yeah, that'll take you up to like 55 or something. I don't know how fast York's car goes. I assume it has to go faster because otherwise, why would you get the car? Not that this game even needs that because it's so hard to control. But yeah, so Dallas Sky, tell me about the race that you guys have done. Was it that same one? Did you guys do a different one?
It was one in the town. I don't know if it was that same one, but it's where it was a little bit earlier in the game whenever we were playing, and it's where I started to actually see like quest markers on the mini map. And I went to that one, which I think we got the opportunity to get a card out of it. And so if you're ever curious, whenever you're driving around and it does that like do 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 do, and you're like, what the hell was that? It's probably because there's like a trading card near you, is what I've gathered from it. So I think it was a deep orange color, which meant that's a side quest. Anyway, so I tried it out just because she had mentioned that while she was playing at one point when I was away from the quote unquote keyboard, that she had done like a trial, and I was like, oh man, I want to try that out because the driving is like, as we saw, like it's pretty unorthodox, and so yeah, I got in there and we finished it and we got the card, and I was like, okay, well, I don't think we need to do this again.
No, what I did, he was away, and so I was like, oh, this looks like something important. So I drove into it, and it was a race, and I said, never mind. I got out of the car.
Yeah, you got out. If you get out of the car, does it immediately stop it?
It stops it, and then actually it disappears. Like the race, like the circle disappears.
Oh wow!
Then we had to smoke like 20 cigarettes to get back on track.
To get it back. Yeah, Scott, have you attempted a race?
I have.
Did you win?
It took me like 5 tries, but I eventually got it.
Nice.
Oh
man, did you just like memorize the route at that point?
Yeah, and I didn't know about the siren that it would.
Oh man, y'all.
Yeah, it speeds it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I figured that out. Like I think I did it, and I noticed that like the speedometer went up just a little bit. I was like, oh okay, but then you're listening to the siren the entire time, so you got to kind of give and take on what you want to listen to.
Yeah, I might do another one. I'm gonna try and do a little bit of the just side stuff, but that also depends on how prepared I am in terms of just like not playing it last minute before we discuss it. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so let's catch back up with the other part.
You didn't even ask me if I've done any of the side quests.
I know you haven't.
If I've done any races.
I know you haven't, Jeff. Do you? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Have you done any of the racing side quests?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Weird.
Absolutely.
They're such a treat.
I know. Yeah. Well, I think we were playing together whenever one potentially came up, and you said that you had done one, and
I did tell you.
I don't remember if I asked you. Yeah, I don't remember if I asked you if it was worth it or anything, and you were just like, yeah, whatever you said. I was like, okay, I'm not doing it.
I told you to skip it. I was like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, just don't play it.
Yeah. I mean, I think you should try it, but I was trying to keep your mood high. I was trying to keep you in a good mood.
Trying to keep me up high.
Maybe before the game ends and we finish our discussion, you can attempt one. Jeff's like, maybe. All right.
There's always a chance. Anything is possible.
First off, okay.
All things are possible.
Okay, let's see. I gotta skip to this video a bit. Give me a second. Yep. Okay. So we're doing the trail, and this is where we start to trail Nick.
Go for.
Nick's still in the bar.
Just as we planned then. I wonder what happens next.
Agent York, you're really enjoying this, aren't you? I have to admit, I envy that.
Cigarettes in the car.
Dude, he just smoked a cigarette before she got in, and then she got in, he's like, all right, let's fucking do this.
Time for another
Use
one.
my language.
I mean, it's not his car, so I assume he could smoke in it, right? It's just a cop car.
Nick is leaving the bar.
What about Diane?
She isn't here tonight.
Emily, check that with George.
George, can you hear me? Nick's leaving the bar. What's happening with Diane?
No movement. Tell me what to do here.
Stay put, George. I'm thinking Nick will head to the gallery. Let's meet up there.
10-4. Copy that.
Agent York, it's Nick.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Let's go.
Okay. Time to play with the big boys, Nick.
And then we play with the big boys. So after this is a gameplay session of it's a trailing mission, which I think you can watch on Jeff's and my channel respectively. Let's go ahead and start with the ones that you can't watch. Scott, hit us up with your opinions on that trailing mission. How did it go? Was it a one-shot thing?
No, it wasn't a one-shot thing. So, like I said, I was watching the Rangers playoff game during this part. And so when it got to the trailing section, I was like, "Oh, right, a police chase!" And so I just ran up right on him, and it immediately failed. And so, I had to smoke a lot of cigarettes to get back to that part, and then it just takes forever. Like you're going 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, you can't go too fast. You can't go too slow.
Yeah.
If you push the gas pedal, like the gas pedal's not analog, so it's like an all or nothing type thing. So you can't, like do 10% gas pedal, whatever, and kind of maintain a speed, maintain a cruise control. You're just
to be
suffering.
fair, the Switch doesn't have those type of triggers.
Cruise control. So we
no excuses.
Yeah. We got into this situation, and I must have been in there for at least 2 minutes before I looked at Skylar and I said, okay, so 2 minutes to us, it's nothing. I mean, we've been talking here for over an hour. But when you're in the game and you're following a car at least a 40-meter pace.
Did you guys ever did the car ever get stuck?
No, we never got stuck. But what I did was I looked at Skylar and I said, can you look this up and see if we're supposed to catch up to him or not? Because we were following him for so freaking long that I was like, I mean, we either need to get right on his ass or this is just gonna be the longest thing I've ever played in my life. And it was the latter. So
It was so unnecessarily long.
Yeah, I mean that sums up this game. Everything is so unnecessarily long, and that's what's hilarious about it. Honestly.
Well, in my playthrough, so the first time, I did the same thing as Scott, where I I knew that I was doing a trailing mission, so I think I got like 2 minutes into the 10-minute session of trailing somebody, and I didn't realize that the car got stuck, and I was just kind of like talking to Trevor, and I was like pressing the gas pedal, and all of a sudden, like the thing went from 25 meters or 40 meters down to 5, and it's like once you get down to 5 and it turns red, like you get caught. And so then I had to do what Scott did. I had to go back, had to smoke some cigarettes, and then I picked it back up.
Well, you didn't do that.
And then
because you got caught really quickly off of a turn.
Well, I got caught it was a turn. That's what got me.
You got caught on a turn.
But I still wasn't, like, that happened a couple times where I wasn't paying attention, and like I almost caught them.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple times on the second playthrough where the tail car got stuck behind a pedestrian car. I don't know if they had an accident or what, but they got stuck. A save took like 2 seconds. Oh my gosh. No.
You didn't have to waste 24 hours of in-game time is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you did get stuck. You got hard stuck behind that car.
And then I got hard stuck behind like multiple cars because like I guess I don't know if he was running into the car or what, but like there was a couple times where I just had to sit behind the car. I just had to sit there and wait, and it was great. It was a great experience.
Yeah, it's like Dallas rush hour traffic simulator. You're just like waiting to get home, but like everyone's in the way.
Sitting on the 35.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. I mean, so that was so we passed it in one try. I'm not trying to gloat, but what I'm gonna say is that the fact that the farther you get away from them, like if you get 50, 60 meters away from them, it starts to turn orange and then to red. And so that gave me an indicator that, okay, red is bad. You need to catch up with them. But then as I got closer, I was like, oh, it's getting red. So that must mean it's bad. And that's why we were able to do it in one try. And that's why I told her to look it up after that amount of time, because I was like, there's no way. Like there's just no way. But there was a way. That was the way. That was the only way.
That was the way. You did it right. That's exactly. I mean, you really just followed the clues. You just go, oh, red means bad, and so you did it right. But yes, it does go for a very long time. And really, like Jeff kind of got grifted on his first run, and Scott, you weren't paying attention, which is also fair. So I think all of that was valid. The main complaint is that it took so long, and cars could get in front of Nick and legitimately slow him down, which is just hilarious. I actually didn't have that bad of a time with it. Like, I actually wish I clipped mine, because I think basically I ended up like a car got in between me and Nick, and so in order to pass the time, I was just hitting that other car, and I literally got to the point where I got in front of the car and I made it drive me all the way. I was just having fun with it.
Awesome.
I turned lemons into lemonade in that one. Still was too long though. And then so right after that finishes, let's cut to that next scene here. All right, when are we gonna have enough money to have a producer? And by enough money, I mean just
any money.
Oh, that's definitely the wrong video because the audio's already working.
So you want to find out everything there is to know about Diane?
There we go.
We want to know about Diane. Tell us.
Jesus.
I did like this part. Yeah. Well, that scream, like that just default scream.
We'd all have halos by now if I was driving.
I think someone's putting a curse on all the cars I drive recently.
Good old York dry humor there.
Agent York, Nick's getting
I feel like he's like breaking the fourth wall.
To get serious.
Because no one, he told, I guess he told both her and George that his car crashed, but I mean, she's not gonna really remember that, I would assume.
Yeah. It's only been 8 days.
Especially whenever he's so sexy.
George?
York and George, actually. Actually, everyone in this game is hot.
He hasn't showed up here.
What about Diane? Any movement?
As Thomas gets out.
Just no action here at all.
RC or whatever his name is.
Yes.
Arson?
Cason.
George, something's different about you. Are you okay?
Actually, I had a little drink while I was waiting. This is my first murder case, after all. I'm on edge, and I needed one. It was only a little, though. I'm still in control.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Where did he get it? Yeah. I think I missed that the first time, and Trevor was like, "Yeah, he's been drinking." I said,
Yeah,
I'm still in control.
I'm still in control.
That's gonna be our safe word on Saturday.
Oh God,
I'm still in control.
Oh no.
Nick and Diane are probably both inside.
If I have to say I'm still in control, please.
You're sure you
save
didn't see
me.
Nick?
Save me.
Go ahead and tuck him in.
Positive.
Yeah, tuck me in.
I haven't taken my eyes
kiss
from
me
the
on the
entrance all
head.
night.
Give me
Not that I
a
don't trust you,
Betty
George.
bye. He
But I'm
needs some
positive
keys.
Nick
Yeah.
is here.
Get the sets of keys.
Is there another entrance?
Not that I know of.
Well, I'll go look for one. Help me out if you can, would you?
Sounded like a different voice actor.
That happens. I think there legitimately might be multiple voice actors for each participant in this game.
So at that point, George is really like, I mean, George never really started out hot, but he's clearly getting sloppy with his job, drinking on the job, and he's just like, Nick was never here. I'm in control. It's fine.
Yeah.
George really starts taking a tumble here. So let's see. So at this point, it kind of gets a little surreal because, like, this is one of the things that's really interesting because in this game there are zombies and York clearly goes to like some sort of weird parallel universe. But in this like next little bit of gameplay, essentially like the zombies are happening, but also Emily, Thomas, and George are also there, and they don't ever comment
And they're
on
not.
the zombies.
They're not experiencing.
Yeah, they don't mention it. They don't go like, "Oh, did you see that? That was weird." Like, no comment.
And he never mentions it either. Like
He
he's
doesn't.
never saying like that's crazy. Like, did you guys also like how did you guys kill these zombies or whatever? Kill these things?
So he just walks around and then just basically gets into the art museum by a door in the back, essentially. And in there, let's see, I don't think I actually have an intro in there, but in there we do get a new enemy, which I thought was interesting. So I took a video of this new enemy being shown. I think this is the first time the game has introduced a new enemy, other than the same enemies just having shotguns. Not for the Raincoat Killer.
I hate this enemy more than I hate almost any other enemy.
I feel the same exact way.
So what were your first thoughts on it? Because, like, really, I mean, I don't know. I didn't really get hurt by it. I mean, I liked that there was enemy variation. I didn't like at the end when it shows 3 of them back to back because I thought that was annoying. But, like, explain the hatred because I didn't think it was that bad.
This enemy is bullshit.
This is part of Jeff's bullshit ass part of the game.
Is that where this comes from?
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
like,
well, I mean, go ahead. You know what? Go ahead. I don't even want to talk about it.
You know what? I'm going to take this one, Jeff. Let me at him. So basically, this enemy would have been cool as Skylar put out there, which it felt like a mini boss because it was a new enemy. Sorry, there's like a small mosquito flying around us.
Do you guys need to change your suit?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, change your clothes.
Oh my goodness.
It's getting stinky over
This
here.
game's getting cerebral.
Yeah, we haven't showered in actually like 6 days. So the enemy comes out and you're like, oh, a brand new enemy. This is awesome. And it takes a lot of shots from your handgun to kill it.
Yeah.
Also, just a little side note, if you're using the machine gun, it takes probably as many shots to kill it. Like there's no, I feel like you just shoot easier with it. Like you can shoot wider
Kinda
or
like
like more
like
at a
spray and
time.
pray.
Yeah, but it's still going to take like 12 hits
There's
or
no
whatever it is
Yeah.
to kill it.
I don't know what the number is, but it's if it was halved,
It's high.
it would still be too many times.
Yeah. And so like you do all that and you're like, damn, that was pretty crazy. I'm glad I didn't get hit by it because it basically shoots like a projectile every once in a while. You have to dodge it.
Oh, that was so dumb.
Yeah. And then
It's
what's crazy too is like it'll come right at you, and even if you tap it late, but you still get it in, it'll like
as long
hit
as
you, and you're like,
as long
I
as
still
you've
dodged it.
pressed, yeah, as long as you've pressed evade at some point during the like event, like you're fine.
Yeah,
Because you can press evade as soon as the cloud comes, as soon as the cloud shows up. You're 15 meters away. You roll to the side. The cloud, like, also the way that he rolls does not match like where you're aimed.
For everyone in the United
you know.
States, that's about 20 feet.
Gosh.
But yeah, and then like once you get past
It
that,
just blows past you.
yeah, and then once you defeat this little mini boss, you're like, oh man, that was great. But then you go and you make a couple 90-degree angles down the hallway, turn here, turn there, and there's another one.
That's towards the end. Or wait, I don't know if that's towards the end, but that's like because you fight one, and then you actually like do the puzzle for the puzzle for the dungeon, or whatever. It's like, you're finding 3 apples, and you're shooting the apples off the apple tree, and you're laying them down, and then monsters are coming out of the paintings, and you have to go and kill those.
Which I do have a video of that, so we can show what that looks like.
The monsters coming out of the painting.
That whole little like puzzle part, because this was a much simpler puzzle, as in, it wasn't even really a puzzle.
Take me back to 3 hours ago. Let's see what we got.
Let's go there. This one? Yes.
Yeah. I did like this. I was like, oh, this is like actually sort of weird and creepy. It's like it's the same tree you've been seeing. Okay. I'll let this finish.
No, I think you're good. It's the same tree you've been seeing.
Yeah, so I did kind of like this whole atmosphere where you're going back to the exact same spot you've been, but like everything is a little bit more darker, a little bit more spooky. So this was a sculpture in the previous part, and now it's a tree with hands. And one thing, I thought this was a life bar. I didn't realize it was a timer. So at first, while I was just shooting the tree, and I was like, wow, my bullets really aren't doing anything. and then I was like, oh, it's a freaking timer. I'm so stupid. But I was like, I played this, like I said, 3 hours ago, so I was trying to kind of rush through it and try to get as far as I could.
Why is this picture here? I do like the hand tree. Yeah. It is super creepy. I mean, I don't know if I'd say it's super creepy, but it's cool.
I thought it was weird. Yeah, I thought it was weird. But I like this because it kind of changed the setup for the room, because previously you were able to walk. You didn't have any obstructions as you were trying to go from across this like foyer. And then the second time you go in, there's like that red barrier, so you have to go up the stairs, come back around. So this game is so weird in ways that they sort of nailed the gameplay, and then other places like they just botched it. Like I feel like this was kind of like they nailed it. Like they nailed this. Like this was great. Like I say, it was great. This was good.
I agree with Jeff.
It's fine.
This is where I felt like, this is where
broken.
It felt like there was enough to understand what was going on, but like not enough to understand like, oh, this is the direct path. And because of that, I saw the timeline, or the meter dropping down, like the little timer, and I was like, okay, I shot all the things off there, and I'm just sitting there like, well, what do I do now? And I looked for some more, and then it got about halfway, and I was like, oh crap, I gotta go talk to all these other things. And so it gave me that sense of like, like there was some pre-existing knowledge that I had before I got there. Yeah, there was the urgency part after I finished it. I'd known from the tree, due to the other tree earlier in the game, like what I was supposed to do, but this was like an added element, and I felt like this is what makes the game more interesting. The unfortunate part about this is the only time I felt like this is what makes the game interesting.
The story doesn't make the game interesting.
I mean the story, but it's more like I guess from like a gameplay perspective. Yeah.
I like the gameplay of this like actually made sense. Like the puzzle was obvious enough that like I didn't feel like I was being gypped while I was playing it. Like you pick up 3 apples and you walk up to the paintings, and then you can kind of tell like, okay, this is a red one or whatever. This is a green one, and then I think the other one was ripe. So that there was a little bit of confusion on that on my side. I was like, which one's ripe and which one's red? Like, what's the difference really? But I mean, it just seemed like everything just made more sense.
I mean, it was definitely a simpler puzzle because it was timed. So it's like you needed to be able to solve that. But I also think that the puzzle in this area in the first place was also a fair puzzle. I don't think there was anything that was not fair about the puzzle, other than it did try to trick you a little bit on the last one. But like, puzzles are sometimes tricky. So I mean, I think in general, like the gameplay trajectory is honestly kind of going up. At least in episode 2 over episode 1, which is interesting because Scott, I know you think differently, but real quick, Scott, we didn't really get your opinion on what did you think of the upside down wall lady?
Upside down wall lady?
Yeah, the lady.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The cookies and cream looking chick.
So the first time I faced her, I was using the submachine gun, and my gripes are the same as Dallas's. It took way too long. Like I thought I was doing something wrong. I thought there was like a quick time event after you dodge the cloud, like you have to run up and like stab her or something. But it just took way too long.
Yeah, it does take a long time. There was one time where I actually had a golf club, and like I hit her with the golf club. I hit her twice, and then it only took like 1 shot to kill her.
I was wondering that. So I was wondering if that was like if you pulled out the melee weapon, because the melee weapons are more effective on the regular enemies. And so I did halfway think about that, but then I was like, I'm just gonna freaking shoot her.
Yeah.
But I also I wanted to stay away from her because she had the ability to like grab you and kill, like take away a quarter of your life or whatever. So I that was why I didn't want to pull out the melee weapons.
Yeah. It was more effective
because I didn't want to get freaking caught.
But later in this level, I got a shotgun, and it only takes 2 shots with the shotgun to kill her. So that's what I used.
That shotgun is handy.
We need to go with that. Yeah. So whenever we first started the game, I felt like only the barricades could be attacked with a melee weapon, and so we kept all of our melee weapons, and then we had our handgun, which we saw the ammo going down, and I was like, oh no, we don't have any more ammo. So then later on we found out that you have unlimited ammo, and then I found out, oh, you could just shoot the barricades. So then since then I felt like we've needed to use our melee weapons more, but also there's this like little nervous tick that happens where I'm like, wait, don't use your melee weapon just yet because you might need that for something. And so I've just been shooting everything. So I have like some previous trauma from the beginning.
Yeah, so you got you've got the classic, like, I better not use this item in my inventory just in case I need it for later. And then you get to the end of the game and you have all these items
and like, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's kind of the feeling that we've been having. But yes, the melee weapons, man, they do some damage. I don't understand the reasoning behind it, but I like it.
I will say, as I was sort of Googling to try and find something else, you can actually get melee weapons that don't break, by the way. Those come from side quests.
Oh, sweet.
So definitely the side quests do reward you with content, but unfortunately for Jeff, that means he's playing the game more. So
yeah, we can't dedicate more time than is necessary.
All right. So as we go through the art gallery as a dungeon, you end up finding these. These are the wrong ones. You end up finding these clues. So once again, the reverse peace sign. I think Jeff's going to get a tattoo of that. You find another red seed, and then the broken stiletto heel shoe, which matches the broken stiletto heel nub. What do you call that? What do you call the piece of the? Is it just the heel?
I guess that'd just be the heel, right? Like if it's the broken, like the heel of the shoe.
Yeah,
but or maybe it's just called the stiletto, right? Or is the stiletto the type of shoe?
We're gonna go to our Stiletto correspondent Skylar Miller here. Let's hear about
Scott.
Stilettos. Oh, actually, Scott, you wear a lot of stilettos.
I know nothing about stilettos.
Scott, what is it called?
Yeah, Scott, you know this.
Yeah, whenever you're rocking those pumps, whenever we
do you
go
know
out
the
on Friday
answer?
nights.
I see
Yeah,
your
does Ivy Sword know the
emojis
answer?
there. Yeah, I would, because I
What's
would
the
love
answer?
to.
The stiletto
what's-
is a type of heel because it's a very tall, thin heel. So it's a stiletto. Is that the question?
Well,
didn't have it-
yeah, like what is the
Like, what's-
missing piece? So we got the broken
is that
stiletto
called?
heel shoe, but is the piece that we
Is that-
had the broken stiletto?
It's called the shaft of the stiletto.
I think it's called the stiletto heel.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's
the
called the
butt-
heel. All right, that makes sense. So the broken
Anatomy of a
stiletto
high
heel is what we now have. Either way,
Thanks,
that
Ivy
was
Sword.
yeah. Thank you for that because
Thank
that,
you,
that
Ivy
would have
Sword.
stopped us for forever. Luckily, we got an
The
answer.
Heel breast. We're missing the heel breast, actually.
The heel breast. Okay, so after we find those 3 clues, we are welcome to another couple round of cutscenes. So everybody, I would say buckle in. All combined, I think we have about 20 minutes of cutscenes to go through and discuss.
Holy
but then we're
buckets.
good. We're good skis. So everybody, buckle up. Let's find out what happens to Diane.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Does this look familiar, Jeff?
Yeah. This looks like something I saw 1 to 2 hours ago.
Yeah. 2 hours and 6 minutes ago.
Yeah, 2 hours and 6 minutes ago. Yeah, I was cruising through this game. Got dead eyes. Just like, ugh. This is a new song, right?
So is that Becky?
Agent Morgan, where are you? Answer me! Come on. Open up!
It's such a dramatic way to open that door. He's not rushing. Well, I guess he thinks Diane is dead.
Diane?
George, call for assistance with the body.
Wait! She's still alive.
I think my Switch fell asleep at one point. I had like
Diane,
weird
don't
thumbsticks.
move. Don't move your hands and stay still.
I love that George is doing nothing.
It's no good. It won't budge.
Emily,
There he goes.
stand back.
Don't think he's Russian. Who's Russian? Are we Russian to conclusions?
I do like that he was strong enough to push that over though.
I like that he was strong enough. He was so strong and putting in so much effort that he like had a nosebleed
There's not enough time.
while he was doing that.
George, catch us!
This is like, oh my gosh.
I cried when I first saw this part.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
I felt like I was watching the Titanic for the first time.
Yeah. Well, and oh gosh,
Come on,
dude,
Jack.
it's like, what is this, Jack? Oh man, none of this made sense. Like,
Well, to George, it made perfect sense. Look at his ass.
George is just wondering how he can kill her sooner, as soon as possible.
as soon as possible. Like, what does he have to do
How
to?
he can botch the crime scene as soon as
Dude, I feel like George is the killer. He's like the dumbass killer that just like joined the police force and just wants to murder everybody in his town.
That was
Thomas,
impressive of Zach.
call
though.
an
I mean,
ambulance.
like he took
What?
he did what he had to do.
What?
What?
Agent York, George, are you
Tom's
okay?
just like, what is my job
Yes,
again?
I'm okay.
Well, and just also that catch.
To be an acrobat, though.
All right, Trevor. So you have a multi-story house. So I'm gonna jump off the second
No,
floor. I want you to
stop.
try to catch me.
No.
God, I hope so.
I want you to
Pass.
catch me in the same way. But also, I also have to
Quite
be
a catch.
trying to. I have to.
I'm
Somebody has to be
impressed.
hanging. I have
Yeah.
to jump. I have to grab them, and then I'm gonna flip over onto my back. You have to catch both of us. Nobody gets injured.
Oh no.
Sounds like you
So-
never went to ROTC in high school, Jeff.
I thought George got.
I think.
Alright, I don't know what it's
What's
called,
got-
but it would have been cool if it was like a fast response part where you had when he leaped to catch
quick
her.
time event?
Yeah, if you had like a quick time event,
yeah, that would have been
cool.
cool. That's some Resident Evil shit. It's like, oh, they died. Sorry about
yeah,
that.
the exact moment. Yeah, so we have to time that. We have to figure out some sort of mechanism to cut the rope. I have to jump at the same time, you know, and then try to time it out right. And that's probably a bigger jump than a 2-story. Like, I don't know, I feel like this is a little bit taller than 2-story. It's technically the second floor, but it's a little bit taller than your standard 2-story. No crash pads. I'm gonna need you to pull the carpet back because this is hard marble or whatever this is on the floor. So
I'd rather be the one
it needs-
jumping.
Yeah, catching 400 pounds, flying 25 feet in the air, and trying to break the fall.
Oh yeah, Nick is there.
Diane!
Freaking greasy.
Stop right
Yeah,
there,
like
Nick.
what happens
under
to
arrest
people
for the
in this art
attempted murder of
gallery?
Diane
Do they just
Ames.
get grease on their face?
I don't know.
Back off! Don't touch me!
Oh no, I slipped.
And yeah, and that's so aggressive too. Like the way that. I don't think I should be asking questions anymore.
Diane, no! Move!
I expected her to like break her arm in this, like, you know, like that type of thing. Like you grab her arm and you take it, and you just snap it. Didn't quite happen that way.
Yeah, George is now 0-2.
Yeah, George is bad at saving people.
Yeah. It's quite the firm grip there.
I requested, and
Thomas will need a body bag too.
Nick, quiet.
Can you hear that?
Hmm?
Uh-oh. Now I got that music change again. Dog's just like, what's up?
I think he wants us to follow him. Shall we follow, Zach?
Still got 3 minutes of these left.
Willie, are you out there?
Kason, what are you doing in there?
York, is that you? Thank God. I can't get this door open. Can you unlock
So
it
that's
from
how
your
it should
side?
have played out. Not
Jason,
following the
stand
dog.
away from the door.
I should have put my bird.
What? Okay, we gotta come back to that.
Dude, I love that part right there.
It just pops out.
Our dog is barking, so we have to be on mute from the Dalmatian.
Where's
Oh my
Diane?
gosh.
And what are you doing here?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Well, let's just say I have my reasons, you know, private reasons. I don't really have to tell you, do I?
Actually, you do. Diane just died a moment ago.
What?
What?
You're not just a key witness now. You're now a suspect. And you need to tell me exactly what you were doing here.
Well, I just came here to talk with Diane, to have a conversation.
And I suppose that kiss mark on your cheek is from your conversation.
This was just a spur-of-the-moment thing.
Which is exactly what killed Diane.
Okay. I came here to be with Diane. You happy now? We've been together before, a couple times. It's one of the reasons why I like coming to this town, see? This time is no different. I bumped into her in a bar in Seattle. I had some holiday coming up. Well, so I just took it and I drove her back here. I have a wife, you know, but we've been separated for a while. We're going through a divorce right now, and I don't want her lawyer finding out. Anyway, how could I kill Diane if I was in a room locked from the outside? 2 hours ago, me and Diane, we were taking it easy, drinking upstairs. We were, you know, enjoying ourselves. Then Nick had to show up. Well, then Diane had a sudden change of heart. She locked me up in here. I've just been here, waiting for her to come back, of course, but she didn't. I heard footsteps a couple of times, but they just passed by. Well, then I couldn't wait anymore, so I let Willie here out through the window.
Wait, you let him out through the window? But you were locked in there.
Then you showed up instead of Diane.
So that ends Diane's arc. We do have another set of cutscenes to sit through before we call it in. But Scott, you said something very...
Yeah, that was all new stuff.
Oh, have you not seen that, Jeff?
I hadn't seen that. The last thing I saw was the dive, and I think, you know, like I think that was pretty much where I stopped, was the dive.
Yeah. So Jeff was running up a little bit to the wire, so this will be a little bit new for him, but he's gonna watch it in just a second anyway.
I'm gonna play it. I gotta play it.
Yeah. But you will technically be able to skip those cutscenes because you will have seen them. But Scott, so you said something super interesting to me. You said, so that's how that was supposed to play out. With following the dog.
That's how it should have played out. Like, instead of following the dog for like 5 minutes around
you mean you didn't want to do that. You wanted a cutscene just to cut you directly to it. You didn't enjoy another tailing mission?
No.
A literal tailing mission?
Oh gosh. Yeah, because I saw that's where I stopped. I saw the Dalmatian. I was like, what's up with this Dalmatian? I'd forgotten that he had a Dalmatian.
Yeah.
That's where I stopped, was when the Dalmatian showed up.
Okay, I got you. I thought something weird happened, and like you were following the dog, and some weird stuff went, and I was just like, I want to know what happened. This game has so many multiple playthrough options, guys. We got to play it again.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
All right. Any comments on Kaysen being there? Or are we ready to kind of like buckle up for the next? Who knows exactly how long of video we got? Hang on, I'm gonna pause this real quick. Any comments on Kaysen?
No, he's got a perfect body.
Perfect bod. All right, everybody. So if you thought that last set of cutscene was long, just wait. This one is 15.
Oh, no. 15?
That being said, this one we can skip around a bit, but I think there are some gems in here of character development, plot growth, and one line that I know Ariel really can't wait for us to go over. Hance waits for us to go over.
Zach, let's get back to the hotel.
Everybody else already
First
seen this?
Anna,
It's just me.
then Becky.
You seeing this for the first time?
Diane.
Okay.
I'm not looking forward to writing this investigation report.
Agent Morgan.
That's
York.
me anytime they say I have to
Do you
make
have a moment?
documentation.
Yeah.
What is it, George?
I'm not looking forward to this.
There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Do you
Why
have
does he
any time
stand
later?
like that?
Can't we
Holding
just
his
do
hat?
it here?
If possible,
No.
I'd like to go to a bar.
With his
Of
hands on
course,
his hips?
We don't really have to.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know,
Bar.
man.
Now that sounds like a good idea. Zach,
It's
what
me
do
and
you think?
Dallas on
We can go
Saturday
drinking
night.
with George, or turn him down and head back to the hotel.
Bring it with George? Hell yeah, brother.
Let's go.
No, it's just was it let's go hang out at a bar? Sounds like a great idea.
I mean, why not?
George, that scar on your cheek. Where did you get it?
This? Didn't I tell you? Well, it's not from work. I got it when I was a kid.
A childhood injury. Tree climbing? I used to get a few scrapes myself climbing the big tree in our backyard. I used to climb it a lot. And fall out of it a lot.
So I'm assuming that
This wasn't
Dallas,
anything like
Sky,
that, though.
and Scott, you guys
It was
went
my
for a
mother.
drink with George,
She
right?
did it.
Because you could pass.
I'm sorry, George.
Don't worry. It's ancient history.
Went for a what,
The
Trevor?
world is flooded
Like, you
with
guys saw the
unreasonable
drinking
violence.
cutscene, because this is
The
optional.
strong overpower the weak.
Oh, yeah,
adults
yeah.
over
Of
children,
course we did.
men over women.
I was like,
and criminals
bar?
over their
Let's go
victims.
there. Yeah, no, I love this scene. They get a little heart-to-heart conversation going.
I have no memories of my father. He left before I knew him. My mother would hit me every time I asked why. And it didn't stop there. If I ate too slow, left my shoes scattered around, TV volume too loud, she found reasons to hit me. Hit me bad. The worst was what she called the tree punishment. She'd whip my back with these thin tree branches like a whip.
Well, those switches where I come from.
I won't do it again. That hurts, Mom.
Holy cow.
I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry.
Tree punishment was definitely the worst, I tell you. Just hearing those words used to make me shiver and want to pass out. And that's why I didn't want to show you those scars on my back. Every time after the tree punishment, she'd always say the same thing. This is hurting the tree more than it is hurting you. And me, being a naive, dumb kid, I believed her. I went to the woods to apologize to the trees. I kept asking myself, why is she hurting me this way? I thought long and hard about it. In the end, I've just figured I'm weaker than her. That's why. It's the law of Mother Nature at work. The strong eat the weak.
But now, you have the power to protect the weak.
That's right. Perhaps I should thank my mother for guiding me into this line of work. York. I've been an arrogant fool, haven't I? And if it weren't for me, both Becky and Diane would still be alive.
That is correct.
I could have saved them both.
Yep.
You know, it's almost like they died because of me.
You're out of your mind.
100%.
Yeah.
I invited
Yeah,
you
you
to the
busted
spa
out
for a
the
drink.
freaking
Facts.
I guess this
wire
bar is my
cutter, the
confession
wire
chamber,
cutters.
and I wanted you to listen and to tell you.
I mean,
Well,
Diane was the one that was
you must
hanging above the
already hate me for
whatever
causing
that's
all
called, the
these
statue
problems,
thing.
not
So
following
that
your
one,
orders.
I give him a little bit of grace for
York.
that one because he pushed it hard
I'm
enough that
sorry.
he, busted blood
I'll
vessels
follow
in
your
his
orders
nose.
from now on.
But the other one where he was
You'll
choppy
have my
choppy in the
total
wires,
cooperation.
his fault.
George, you've been as cooperative as you can be.
I love how
You
close
even
their
invited
hands
an
were.
FBI
I
guy
may
to a bar
actually
for
say this
drinks.
in just a second, but when it shows the
You've
upcut,
done a
like
good
their
job
hands are so
protecting this
close.
town.
All they have to do is just.
And the folks here respect you for that.
They're just like so close to
No
holding
one can
hands.
blame you for anything.
Oh.
Thanks.
It's a pretty
I do feel a
progressive
little
game.
I don't know if it'll show that shot again.
Oh, if they don't kiss at the end of that, then.
Sorry to
what
keep
is-
you
what
waiting,
is it even
boys.
for? Oh, here we go.
Sack. Emily is already a goddess of the forest.
Is that a pickup line? Do I need to write that down?
Well, let's forget work for a bit and
So
drink
and
a little,
so
shall
is a
we?
goddess of the forest.
Why is she here?
I just thought the more the merrier. You know, to relax and get loose. Is this a problem?
No, of course not. Pardon me, Emily, but I'm pooped. I think I'll just call it a night.
George, I just got here and you're walking out on me? I was hoping the three of us could have a drink and let out a little steam.
I'm afraid I've already had enough. And I already had a good man-to-man with York. So I'll see you guys.
New song?
Yeah,
Yeah, new song.
I think George likes you, but he's avoiding you all at the same time.
I did cut out one cutscene in the middle, so you
How
have
astute.
one new thing in there for you, Jeff.
There's a reason?
Nothing worth going into. It's a thing of the past.
Oh, they took this from the table to the bar
Okay.
top?
He did ask me out when I
That's
first
how you know
came to
things are
town.
getting a little serious.
I was still in high school. But I never really considered
I love all the
him my
NPCs. They all
type.
look like they have, like,
And there's the
heavy
age gap
eyeshadow
thing,
on.
too. I respect him, of course. I wouldn't have taken this job otherwise.
So, did you move to this town alone?
Of course not. I came with my parents.
Tell me about them then.
Sure, why not?
You let your parents.
My dad dealt in stocks in
Why
New
not?
York. He was hardly at home when I was a kid, always working. Those pieces of paper were far more important to him than I was. Which is no different now, really. I don't see much of him. My mother? Totally different story. A wonderful person that I still respect. She was always kind and understanding.
I'm actually gonna save us a couple of seconds here, because this is actually literally a couple seconds. This is what I really want to
Okay.
get to. I cut this very quickly today.
I thought they were taking it somewhere else.
Jeff, buckle up.
Oh no, is that what's happening?
Saying that's not Emily's hotel room.
Emily? What's going on? Do you know what time it is?
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't sleep, so I was drinking alone.
Oh.
Very kind woman. She always smiled so brightly. Baked cakes and cookies every day. She'd say that I needed the sugar because I spent so much time thinking. My father was always quiet. We never talked much. He was a federal agent, just like me. And he was hardly ever at home. The only words he ever had for me were harsh ones. I had a vivid imagination, and I remember he once said this to me. There are plenty of crazy things in this world. You don't have to go dreaming them up. And it's my job to make sense out of them. One day you'll understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's her sleeping.
Found out later that my father was one of the first to ever use criminal profiling to catch bad guys. And so now I'm doing exactly the same job that he did.
What does that mean?
Father,
He
my
was the
son.
first one to do criminal profiling?
Can I ask you something?
Maybe
Was
someone
he
figured it out.
doing
yet.
that? Yeah, he's the one that figured it out, like in the
Do you mind
20s or
if it's
something like that.
something personal?
Fire away.
I guess. Hang on. I'm gonna look up what is criminal profiling.
Who's
Maybe I just don't
Zach?
understand what the breakthrough was.
Zach is a friend of mine.
Oh, so you do have friends.
Yeah. He's my only friend.
What kind of person is he then?
Well, I've never seen his face. But he's always with me, and we discuss everything.
When did you become friends?
A long time ago. Back when I was a child. I was 7. I woke up one morning to hear my mother crying in the living room. This wasn't normal, so I headed in to see her. My father was there pointing a gun at my mother. I was so scared. I closed my eyes, so I don't remember much more. But I do remember the words my father said to me. At times we must purge things from this world because they should not exist, even if it means losing someone that you love. When I came back to my senses, they were both dead. He shot my mother and then killed himself.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. Zach's with me. It was around that time that we became friends. I'm here.
Are we about to find out what
he said?
What Zach is?
I'll be here always.
Not right now.
We can get through this together. Quite aside from that terrible scene in front of me, that voice seemed to make me calmer.
He's definitely schizophrenic. He said that voice made him calmer.
Together.
Like, I mean, that's got to be
Getting through
something,
things.
right?
This is the first time I've ever told anyone about this.
Was that your Switch about to go to sleep?
Yeah.
I wonder if Zach will get angry.
Altogether, this was probably like minute 20 of
Sad
cutscenes.
story.
Oh gosh, dude.
Consecutive.
I don't want you to take this the
Well,
wrong way, but
If I skip any of them,
I'm
like, will
sure
at
there
least
was a
like whenever the
reason for
break
what your
happens,
father
like,
did.
like if there's 10 cutscenes, can I skip one and go to the second one?
I
Or is
think
it going to be like
You should
skipping all of
an
them?
agent to find out why
Okay,
he did what
okay.
he did.
Whenever I stream this, I'll probably
oh,
stream
yeah,
the whole
you
thing.
are
I
okay.
probably won't skip
I
them
forgot to thank you.
because I don't want to take away from anybody
For
that's
what?
watching what I play.
You saved my life.
So I think we
if you didn't
missed
save me at the gallery, I would have died along with
the
Diane.
line that
No need to thank me for that.
Ariel definitely pointed out. Let me go back 1 second. I think it was around here.
But I do.
Oh, this?
Yeah, at one point, Emily says, maybe it's right here.
Sad story. But I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I'm sure there was a reason for what your father did.
So, murder,
That?
suicide. I'm sure there was a reason for what your father did.
I thought I was the only one that thought that was so bizarre. Like, if someone told me that, I think I would be done with that conversation.
Yeah.
Especially for their little nightcap. Seems a little...
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she comes over. She's like, "I'm sorry, guys. I've been drinking a little bit. What if I just unload all this trauma on you?
God.
This personal trauma."
Yeah, she definitely doesn't. You know, if your parents murder suicided, I don't think you'd want to hear it. It's like, well, I'm sure there was a reason.
Or yeah, I guess I have that backwards. Why is he telling her this?
He's telling her because
Why-
he trusts her.
Yeah,
which is fair.
but she
And
comes
she's the one who's like, oh,
She's
I'm
the
sure
one
there
that
was a
came
reason.
over,
Mhm.
and this whole scenario doesn't make sense in
You,
real life.
you didn't read her Tinder profile where it said, I wear my heart
I
on my
would-
sleeve. And then whenever she met up, she's like, I killed everyone. My parents did all this shit.
Oh my
You're like,
gosh!
oh man, no.
Or actually, she's saying like, "I wear my heart on my sleeve, but I'm gonna show up sleeveless." So
I can watch it.
Oh god. Okay. All right. I think that's the major line from that. Yeah, and then basically he just reminisces. So that we'll finish episode 2, part 2. I think, continuing that wild ride. Like I said, there's a bit more that's been left out and cut out. I kind of try to condense what is probably an hour of cutscenes into 30-ish minutes. So let's see. Episode 2, part 2. What are y'all thinking overall? How do you think that? Where do you think the story's going? Let's get some predictions on the killer. I know we've already said a couple. Let's get some predictions on who else is going to be traumatized and is going to be ignored about their trauma. Let's hash it out.
I don't know if I should go. I haven't played this part, so but in terms of like who the killer is, Raincoat Killer has to be George. He's been left out in the rain many times. There's been at least 2 times where they've opened the door and he's been standing outside in the rain. He does not look wet, so that means that he's been up to no good, probably. Definitely not hiding underneath the patio or anything like that. But either way, George is the killer, and then Zach and York are the same person. It's some kind of Fight Club thing. They are on a schizophrenic tangent with each other, and based on the cutscene I just saw, I don't know how York fumbled the ball and didn't sleep with this lady. But yeah, whatever. She obviously came over, asked to make a connection, and he was like, "Well, what if I tell you about this murder suicide thing with my parents?" And she was like, maybe there was a reason, because that was not on her mind. So that's, in terms of what I've seen so far, that's all I have.
That's where Jeff's at. Dallas, Skylar, same opinions on terms of murder suspect? No?
I think it's York.
You think York is the murderer?
I do. But now with your response, I'm starting to question.
No, I think that's interesting.
Well, okay, so he shows up to town with these red seeds. He's finding them. He's seeing zombies that no one else can see or no one talks about. I don't know. He's always at the scene, right? He goes into that room, into the art museum, and then all of a sudden, whenever he lets in George and Emily, she's all tied up. There's just like a lot of weird things. Him talking to himself or having auditory hallucinations. I don't know. I don't. Sometimes I even question if he's a real detective. I don't know. I just feel that's how I feel.
Oh, I like it.
Maybe I watch too many crime shows. I don't know, but
no,
I still think he might be like Shutter Island type stuff, where he's basically Leonardo DiCaprio in Shutter Island.
It's a good Tom Hanks movie. I also agree with Skylar. After she told me that while we were on this podcast, he was like, "I think it's York," and I was like, "Holy mother of nature!"
Did you say, Skylar, you just busted this case wide open?
Yes. I was like, man, if this case was an ass, it's been busted wide open. It just yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me because I never thought about that before. But I mean, coming from how just weird this game is, I feel like the game, it has to throw a curveball at you, and that would be the ultimate curveball. I mean, I never watched Dexter or any of these other shows where apparently the protagonist is the killer or whatever's going on, but I would just assume
He's literally never watched Dexter based on it.
Yeah, I would just assume that this
allegedly,
yeah. Well, The Office, where Michael Scott's the killer, or
yeah,
just any of those shows where you're like, man, I did not expect that. But once she said that, I'm like, I mean, all the pieces, I can't deny that any of those things shouldn't have happened or wouldn't have happened if he was the killer. And so, yeah.
Answer me this: has he ever shown?
Riddle me this, Batman.
Has he ever shown a badge or some sort of insignia that he works for the FBI?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Very first.
Yeah, because
he meets George and
Emily.
And usually when he meets most people.
Yeah, because there was at least one point where maybe that was with Kaysen, or there was somebody in a hallway and he whipped it out and he was like, I am York with the FBI, and he had his badge out. But
that
was in
drawn
this
in
episode.
crayon.
That was in this episode. I just don't know where. I just don't know who he was talking to when he did it.
It's just like drawn in crayon. This is I am FBI.
Mr. FBI. Yeah, here we go.
Need something?
No. What do
No,
you
I
got?
was just passing by. I didn't.
Scrub.
Oh, there it was. I saw it.
There we go. That says
Wait,
FBI right on
No,
it.
we didn't get that from Spirit Halloween.
Spirit
Like,
Halloween.
no one else from the FBI has even
What
told.
if?
Okay.
Sorry,
Whatever.
I got excited.
Go ahead.
What if he once worked for the FBI, but he was discharged because of his mental illness?
Oh, shh.
You know,
There's a chance.
Wait, Jeff's in the FBI? What the hell?
Yeah, dude, I'm Mr. FBI.
It's getting too real.
So yeah, don't F around with me.
Don't federal around with me.
All right, Scott, set us straight. What do you think?
No idea.
No idea. You're along for the ride. You're just gonna figure it out as it tells you. That's not a bad answer. All of these answers are valid except for the ones that are wrong. And only I know which ones are wrong.
That's what I like about this game. Is that Trevor knows it all, and on Saturday we're gonna get it out of him one way or another.
I'm jumping off of his 2-story house right into his arms, telling him,
"Oh boy,
hey, tell me what you know.
Give us the
you
facts,
son of a bee."
All right. Well, that, I think, finishes up our episode 2 discussion. I hoped everybody liked the formula of like showing a little bit more cutscenes. I'm going to try and do more of that. Just the right amount, maybe not more, but just the right amount. If you enjoyed this, feel free to subscribe. I'll post these to YouTube. We do these every other Wednesday. You can also subscribe for the gameplay leading up to it. You can also go to twitch.tv, Jefferooney_ for the other stories, so you can see different perspectives of playing.
Me getting upset.
Yeah, sometimes I'll tag along with Jeff, and it's a good time. But other than that, everybody, thanks for watching. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. All right, bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.